Hello there folks, it is TIJ Gaming and welcome back to the Neil Robertson Pro Career on Snooker 19. Today it is time for part 76 of Season 4 and the beginning of the Gibraltar Open. The penultimate, I want to say, open ranking event of this career mode. Obviously we've got this event followed by the Tour Championship, which is just the top 8 players, which of course we are in for the first time since the first season of this career mode. Then we have the second open event, which is the China Open, as is alluded to by the fact it's called an open. Of course, we have the Big E, the World Championship. But we have a score to settle in the Gibraltar Open. There is no question about that. Now, in Season 1, our performance wasn't special. We got to the last 16, the same stage as we have here. In Season 2, we got to the final of this event, losing in a decider by 3 frames to 2 to Mark Selby. Last year, in Season 3, we also made the final. It was a best of 7 then, because we increased the match length. And lost in that one by 4 frames to 2 to John Higgins. So, we're looking for revenge this year. We've had 2 bites at the cherry, 2 very close bites at the cherry, albeit, to win the Gibraltar Open. It'd be really nice to get back up to form. We've been a little bit sketchy lately in terms of our form. Get back up to form, win this event, and have a good platform to go into the last trio of events that will make up this season. But it's going to be a tough one today. We're playing against Kyron Wilson in the last 16, so certainly not a pushover. If you look at the matchup history, we've already played against Kyron 4 times in Season 4, and we've lost to him once in the UK Championship, but we've had a decent time against him. We played him in 2 quarterfinals and beaten him comfortably, but in those 2 best of 5s, it's been a little bit closer again. A bit of an issue with the match lengths there. I wanted to play best of 7s or best of 9s, and the game decided to put us in at best of 5s, which, to be honest, we're not that great at. I think we're better at a longer format, albeit this only being a best of 7. But let's get into it. Of course, the matches throughout the Gibraltar Open are only a best of 7. So, however far we get in this tournament, it'll all be done in 1 episode. What I mean by that is we won't play everything in 1 episode today, but all of the matches will be completed in 1 episode. So we'll play this one in today's episode in full, and then hopefully, if we get to the quarterfinals, we'll be showing that in full on Wednesday. I hope you guys are all good. Still enjoying the World Championships, I have to say. It's excellent to watch. Have a backdrop of snooker. Too much snooker, if anything, but I suppose you can't get enough sometimes, as Depeche Mode said all those years ago.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. The first frame, Kyron Wilson to break.
It is early on in the morning on Sunday today, so if I do cough a few times, I tend to have a bit of a frog in my throat early on a Sunday morning. Well, any morning, not just Sunday. A good safety play by Kyron. That wasn't the plan. It was always going to be tight there. We might have played a good shot here, actually, if this runs. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. We planned to play the very thin nick on the red and get back up to bulk. But we played it slightly too hard, which meant, again, it was going to be tight. Played it slightly too hard, which meant that we ended up going off the far jaw. What this has done is made this a bit more of an cagey affair to start off with. But Kyron has left a tempter on this early red. Of course, we struggled in our last match against Luca Brissell to really get going. But every day is different, every match is different. So I don't see why this would be the same. We certainly got a chance to make a start here, at the very least. Not enough pace on that one, unfortunately.
8.
So back up to bulk we go.
He'll be aware how important pace is for this shot.
Didn't want to hit the blue. Did not want to hit the blue, but I think we got away with it. I think the pack covers that red that is now potable.
Neil Robertson, 8.
I don't think you can see this past the pack. He can't. So in effect, ironically, we played a good safety. Kyron, not so much. Giving us a little half chance at the start here. Could be tricky to hold for the black. Funny what angle you go at this at. Depends on what angle you think the pot's going to be. Quite happy with the pot. It's all about whether we hold for the black. Well, To be honest, to be completely brutal with ourselves and critical, we didn't do either of those because we didn't get the pot. We were focusing too much on the position. And to be honest, it was a waste of time anyway because we didn't get any position.
6.
But both players having a very sketchy start once again here. Neither of us really got going. And it was all down to that botched safety shot we played at the start that's made this very cagey, in my opinion. Oh, that's way too soft. Not going to lead to anything, but we need to cut that out going in the future in this match. He's not let that one safe, has he? So Kyron's safety has been, well,
not what he intended
suspect at best here, you have to say.
He's looking to pop this into the right corner.
But at the moment, we're only really being able to take dribs and drabs.
Beautifully done.
Simply wonderful.
But these little points gaps might matter at the end of the frame. So if we've got an opportunity to take a few points, then I don't see the harm in doing so. Just slows things down a bit. I think both players want some fluency. I'm certainly one, as you know, that doesn't like too much safety, and I think Kyron Wilson in the main is the same, really.
Neil Robertson, 8.
And Kyron opening up the reds a bit, being a bit more aggressive, but relies on position, and he's not got that. You know, if we were looking at safety success rate, which is unfortunately a stat that we don't have in Snooker 19, but if you were looking at safety success rate, I mean, I know we haven't been much better, but Kyron Wilson's would be a big fat 0 at the start of this match.
What a shot that is.
Just about hell for the black there. And this, I think, well, I know it's not added up to much to be up against, but this is by far the biggest chance of the frame so far.
8.
I must admit, just slightly off with our position, which isn't a massive concern, but could turn into one. We need a bit more pace for the black there, but no, it should be alright. Just got to make sure we pop this now. Need a helpful touch off the near jaw, and it has dropped.
16.
And this is, well, a cagey start for us at best, so I don't think you'd blame us particularly for playing up to the blue, just a guaranteed position. But we have lost our mojo, there's no doubt about that, a little bit. Oh dear, there's a cough in the audience. As always, when there's a few options, just trying to scout out which one's the best. Might not be the best for another player. Obviously, different players have different tactics. But those 16 points earlier we got that are proving to be a nice cushion now, because if you look, we're 32, now 33 points ahead.
23.
Just takes the pressure off just slightly. Now this is the big shot. Fairly confident this red going, but we're going to have to play with some topspin to get through the reds, and that will open things up. So we need to make sure of the pot. I'm 99% sure of the pot.
That's a great split.
And it looks to be a good split. This should hold the position for the black. Yep, the red's covered it, so that's... Well, the red hasn't covered it, sorry. The red's gone round it, so that's absolutely kosher for me. And this is a good chance now to win the opening frame, and that is a disaster. Oh, God.
I'm not sure what happened there, but... It's
just going into the shots way too quickly, not thinking about anything at all.
Aiming for
And well,
right centre here.
I'm just speechless at that. If we continue to play like that, we're going to continue in exactly the same vein that we did when we played Luca Brusel in the last episode. But that was a really good chance to get us going, and I honestly thought that black would go. Misjudgment of the century, that.
On the pot along the cushion.
But when you're fairly confident it will go, you don't really think about it. It's
Well,
funny,
he's
you
playing
just
this
think,
into
well,
the
it's going to
left
go. I
middle
don't really need to take up any headspace thinking about it. And what's disappointing is we'd kept it fairly tight for the rest of the frame, and the red that we'd just played opened things up and gave us, as I alluded to, a fantastic opportunity. And the player that's going to get that now is Kyron Wilson,
16.
after previously not being in the frame at all. So we are struggling here. We've just got to play through it. There's no other option. And hopefully we'll
20.
hit our mojo sooner rather than later. It's been such a great season so far. It'd be such a shame to end it in a poor manner. Obviously, you know, it'd be great to do well in this tournament, but this isn't really the priority. We're just looking to get our mojo back in this tournament for the three biggies that end the season. And in the main, I want to have a good World Championship, because in our 3 seasons, the last 16 is the furthest we've got to in the Worlds.
28.
And the way we were playing earlier on in the season, I think we had a real chance of winning it. But at the moment,
29.
we just seem to have lost something, and form's a funny thing in this game. Once you lose a bit of your knack, it can go, well, quite literally to pot. It's not quite cleared up there, Kyron, which surprises me.
Kyron Wilson, 34.
That was a good chance for him. That just proves how beneficial that 16 points we got at the start of the frame could well be. Still leading by 7 points. It's got a good line, but might just pull up short of where we're looking at it to be. Yeah, just short. I think this might be worth a shot to nothing here, you know, at the right pace.
Wow.
And it certainly was. Lovely pot. Opens the frame back up for us. And I think if we can take this, you have to say it's a missed opportunity for Kyron Wilson.
Well, it goes. Half a chance here.
Good pot on the pink.
Brilliant.
Seems to be on our marks a bit more, apart from that black. Which I don't really want to be reminded of too soon.
7.
Right, so probably want to line this up for the blue to get perfect on the yellow. Obviously the pink scores us 1 more point, but it ain't going to matter really if we can't get onto the yellow. Let's play this from some side, I think, to get us nicely onto the yellow.
This will be a real test of his cueing.
That's a good shot.
Beautifully struck.
Gives us position for the yellow. Now just working out the permutations. We are fairly close, but not particularly looking at the scoreline. So let's have a look.
13.
We are 20 ahead. We've got 60 on the board. So we're 20 ahead.
Just the colours
27 to
remain.
play for. That's now 22 ahead with 25 on the table. So the green, only the green needed to win us the first frame, barring Snooker, because I think that's going to be a big confidence boost
Goes
for
in.
us.
That should be the frame.
So a good pot on the green there.
And
I think if you'd exclude that black, which I said I was going to stop talking about, it was a poor shot. I know that you can talk about ifs and buts, but in the main, I think this first frame from us has been a lot better than the way we played against Luca Brissell. So that should give us confidence.
He's an expert long potter, and he's taking this on.
And if we can clear the table here, I think that just increases our confidence even more.
nicely played.
27.
Perfect pace required for this shot.
Fairly uniform clearance, I understand that. It's nothing fancy, but
33.
even the simple things when you're lacking confidence in the game are made so much harder. And a good clearance there, so panic over. Kyron Wilson maybe not making the most of his opportunity, but with a clearance of 40, we have won the opening frame of this best of 7.
He'll be wanting to press home the advantage now. This next frame should be interesting.
Now, the last 16 of the Players' Championship, interestingly, was fairly uniform, if you want to keep using that term for us. Because we beat Mark Allen fairly easy by 4 frames to 1, but we did stutter towards the end of that. But again, we didn't really win that without too much of a sweat. I don't really know why I'm saying that, I suppose. Just something to think about.
That's an excellent opening red.
But Corin has left an opening red. Admittedly, we've gone a little bit too far on this black, and I'm struggling to see how we get back up for the next red.
This should be straightforward enough.
No, didn't think so.
He won't be too
Unless
happy
this
with
goes
his
to the
position
centre pocket, but I very much doubt it by what Neil Folds is saying there. So frustrating at best. Oh, this could be a good shot. Look at that. Tried to get it safe, but it's fair to say that wasn't really the planned result. It's certainly the desired result, but it's worked. A lovely a thick cut rather off the
Neil Robertson.
yellow, which puts us on the brown.
for the retake.
Don't think there's any harm in building a bit of a buffer here by asking him to retake. But of course we can't again, because he did hit the reds first last time. But it's okay, because we have got a chance here. So this is a potential opportunity to win this frame in one visit. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reds in the open. I think the key is, which we've been doing too much lately, is to not give our opponent an easy chance. You know, if we scupper a safety and leave a half chance and he pots it, then fair enough. It's just cutting out those unforced errors, really. But I think we are playing with a bit more confidence in the short term today. I know it's not the be all and end all, but you know, it's a start.
He's looking for the pot into the right middle. That's a top shot.
Great cueing.
So looking to make Corin Wilson sit there for a while now.
It's half a chance, but a chance nonetheless. That's just magnificent.
Obviously the real aim would be to get on the black, but again it's just a bit of a struggle at the moment. Might be possible with this though.
In goes the cue ball.
Well,
Foul. Neil Robertson, 19.
we aimed for a bit too much there. We played it a bit too hard, and you know, we didn't get anything out of it. But to be honest, that's another really poor safety from Corin Wilson. His safety has been, well, shocking. Is that the word? I know it's a word, but it's been really poor. I don't think there's too much we can get out of this opportunity, so I think we just try and lay Corin up into something that's tricky to get out of. Again, build a bit of a points buffer. Didn't quite happen for us, we're still safe. You know, that blue's not going to be too much of a help.
But it's worked out okay.
Yeah, Neil Fold's right there for once. But that safety success rate just keeps getting worse and worse for Corin.
Playing this with plenty of power.
However, our long pot success rate has been pretty good, so the two have gone hand in hand to really punish Corin Wilson for some poor safety shots. And you can say that Corin Wilson hasn't been on his marks yet today, true, but ultimately you can only beat who you're up against. You know, you can only play against
we know what a prolific long
the other player,
is, so
and if he's going to give you chances, then you're going to take them, irrespective of how good they are in the rankings.
One of his strengths.
6.
They ought to get me to commentate on this game. Dave Enden just going on about our long pot success. Again, I'd alluded to that 5 minutes ago. Keep up, gents.
I can't see any problems here.
Huh. Famous like, oh no.
But it's a poor result.
We're just being too ambitious. What has happened to our game?
7.
I really don't know. It has just fell off the cliff.
This is not easy.
What a fabulous pot that is.
And although Kyron's not playing well, it's amazing how quickly that can change.
1.
I thought the break might have given us a chance to get back into our game, but so far, you know, with that sort of shot on the blue, it's no evidence that we're doing anything at all. So this is a concern going late into the season. And no, for those of you in the comments, I'm not playing like this to get the series done quicker.
What a wonderful pot.
5.
Just amazing how things change and how quickly it can change. You can see why in real life these things happen. At the end of the day, this is only a video game simulation, and it's not going well for us here. So we're going to have to try and scrap through, and, you know, well, ultimately it was our position in the first place. I think I half-heartedly thought the pink would go. Changed our mind for the blue and just played it too hard. Went too aggressive on it, and, well, it was nowhere near. Anyway, the pot inaccuracy was the problem. But, of course, that stems from a poor position in the first place.
21.
It's an open table now, so I'd be shocked if Kyron didn't take this chance.
27. 28.
He's looking to pot this.
But if we're not confident, I suppose we just play the game as such. Whereby we play less risky shots, and if we're not so confident, we're not so clinical, and we can take that, but just play a safety. Don't like this, give your opponent what's looking to be a fairly easy chance. Because he's making light work of this, is Kyron Wilson.
43. 44.
And he'll be regretting not winning the last frame, so I would say that he's got a point to prove in this one.
50.
So he's 13 ahead. Now 15, the green will give him a bleed of 18 points. And I'll just need the brown from there.
55.
And he'll win the frame. It's been a good clearance, to be honest, if he does pot the remaining 3 balls from Kyron Wilson.
64.
Going to need a good long pot to pot the pink here.
7.
And he's done it. And it's fair to say, although he wasn't really up to scratch in the first frame,
Kyron Wilson.
unfortunately, Kyron Wilson has woke up and won that frame in the end fairly comfortably.
The third frame.
So the spoils shared. It's 1 frame apiece in this match. So let's see how we go from here. We've got a lot of opportunities here, and it amazes me he's gone so aggressive on his break. Again, given how he knows that we can do one thing, if nothing else, we can usually pot a long red. That's exactly what we've done here.
1.
But again, won't harm us just take that extra second over shot to make sure we're okay.
8.
Can sometimes see these opportunities and almost see, not money signs I suppose, but the equivalent of that, I guess. I think, well, it's frame over, but it's amazing how quickly it can go wrong.
9.
It really is.
Well, it goes. Half a chance here. What a pot. Amazing.
Good pot on that one to the centre.
Great positional shot. He'll be happy with that.
17.
I think one of the big issues is that we're struggling to get in and around the black and get some fluency there.
23.
If you can do that, then, you know, I think in most frames you would argue your quid's in. Might as well get rid of this one now. We're looking at it, but no, I'm going to stick to my original idea, stick to the original plan.
This is a challenging shot along the cushion.
24.
And this is why you should look at position. That black didn't go. You know, we're just getting so... Well, we're forgetting the basics, to be honest.
Oh, what a shot that is.
29.
It's amazing when I watch a lot of snooker. Obviously, we've been watching a lot this week in the World Championships. Seems to better my game, but, you know, not on this occasion, perhaps.
35.
The split looks good to me.
I wouldn't call that a split, Neil. I mean, it's a split, but, yeah, I'm not sure that it's anything fan-dabby-dozy there. Oh, no. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Neil Robertson, 36.
Well, he's taking the red on.
We're going to do really well to
What a
win
magnificent pot that is.
matches playing like this. We are.
1.
We're relying on a little bit of help from our opponent.
8.
Because everything just seems to be off. And it's funny, I just don't get it. You have little blips, but this is turning to a bit more than a blip now, if you ask me.
9.
We're getting the chances. It could conceivably be 3-0, given the chance we've had. And I think if we'd have played our best snooker, as we have done in the past, we would be talking about 3-0. But missing that black, well, it's just unforgivable, really.
17.
Pace is critical here.
20.
I understand not every frame has to be a century and a clearance, as we've said in the past.
Kyron Wilson, 20.
And clearly Kyron Wilson's not playing his best snooker either, but I think that ultimately you just can't give your opponent easy chances. Which is what I thought it might have been there. I think we were staring straight down the barrel
Along the cushion here.
of 2-1 Wilson. But amazingly, he's missed that long red, and we've got another chance. If there's ever one we need to make pay, it's this. It really is. Just keep that buffer. I think if we go behind, we'll start to struggle.
Nine.
That's more like it on the black. Bit of confidence back for us. That's good.
16.
I think he's playing this with a lot of power.
Just almost been at the practice table now, you would argue, with this chance.
17.
And, well, still very easily muck it up. Ooh.
24.
It's not really come off the cushion enough, that hasn't. Fortunately, we can see the red to the centre pocket.
He's going for the left centre here. Tremendous spot.
So a bit of a get out of jail free. We tried to get on that red on the cushion, which really we should have potted earlier, in my opinion, because that could become a thorn in our side. But that being said, looking at the scoreboard, it's not going to matter too much. If we can get this black,
Just the black needed now.
we're back ahead.
Down it goes.
That
It's been
should be it.
scrappy at
No real
best,
way
I
to
suppose you
defend
could
the
say, so
now.
far.
32.
And we have struggled.
33.
But the scoreline doesn't lie. We're 2-1 up. Our opponent's not playing the best. But again, you know, you can't start thinking, well, you know, my opponent's not playing well. So
Left centre.
it's not a classified win as such.
39.
Oh, that was a bit of a stupid shot, wasn't it? But oh well, it's going to be enough to win us the third frame. We're back ahead at 2 frames to 1. And again, we've just got to play our way out of this rut. And at the moment, we're not doing a terrible job. We're not playing well by any means, but we're not doing a bad job. 2-1 up as it stands.
Well, he's established a 1-frame lead here.
Big frame this one now. Obviously, the swing of 2 each really makes it tight. I think if it's 2 each, we'll probably decide a bound, I would say. But go 3-1 up, and I think that gives us a real chance. Just all about building our confidence. That was a good safety from Kyron. That safety success rate finally is going to go up rather than down. I did think initially he might hit the reds, but no, he's okay. What I mean is hit the reds on his way back. Oh, this has got a good line. This has got a good line. Oh, what a brilliant shot that was.
Beautifully judged.
So, another chance it could be here.
Well, he's got out of the snooker, but it looks like he's left an opportunity here.
Certainly has. And this is a good chance for 3-1. Again, this could be deja vu. We could get a chance and completely royally muck it up. But hopefully, this time, it's the exception. And we show you guys, the world, that we've got enough to be a top 8 player. Because if we keep playing like this, then we're just going to be torn apart in the Tour Championship. But this is just ridiculous. I'm not looking at the position at all. And this is the problem. We're making things harder for ourselves. What was a brilliant chance. We're now going to pot quite a good ball, actually, to stay on the table.
The rest makes this a little more difficult.
He's missed the
Neil Robertson.
6 points we got out of that. 6 points. Crazy. And I just don't know what's going wrong.
What a pot.
I keep making the same mistakes over and over again. The way Kyron's played, I think, if we'd have played well, I keep barring on about this, but it's a point to make. In our best form, we'd win this match 4-0. And I think we're lucky to be where we are, the way we've played.
12.
It's actually the opposite problem as what we usually have. We usually try to be a bit more aggressive to manufacture a good chance. Now, we've had good chances, that one particularly a golden opportunity. We just haven't used it to its effect. Been a disaster.
24.
But it's amazing how things can change overnight. I know they haven't now, but get through this match. I think that's the main aim. Get through this back match, and then come what may. And
32.
Things can change overnight going into the quarters.
39.
Honestly, I can't see it at the moment, but we could come out in the next episode and fly.
40.
With a bit of momentum behind our back, but we've got to get through this match to do that first. I certainly don't want to go into the Coral Tour Championship off the back of this. If we go out in the last 16. Because again, I think we'll just be ripped to shreds. It's a top 8 tournament. Any player worth their salt's going to beat us at the moment.
$56.
Suppose that is one benefit of the World Championship, that the longer format gives us time.
$62.
And ultimately, Yeah, we're gonna be leveling this match after 4 frames. It was pretty much match over after 4 frames in the Players' Championship against Brussels. But would you believe that?
69.
Yes, it's pretty much frame over, but we're only a snooker away. I don't think it's unwise to play on here.
1.
For potting practice more than anything. But if we stay on the black and pot all these reds, well, we played that one a bit too soft there.
8.
But if we stay on the black and pot the reds, we'll just need a snooker to tie.
9.
Tough shot this, we've left ourselves.
He's aiming to sink this into the right corner.
That's a good pot. That's a good pot, that. And we're not phased by a long pot, so I'm more than happy to keep that red where it is to line it up. But I think there's no point playing the snooker when there's only a few reds. When there's 4 reds at the table. Best trying to play that snooker later on. And this is lined up for the black pretty well. We could probably, I'd say probably better playing the pink. But then we'll need 2 snookers. The problem is how on earth do we get on this next red? Yeah, it's going to have to be the pink here, I think. Better still, yeah. Have to play the blue.
Tricky shot here.
Good pot.
What
Don't
a
come too far.
magnificent pot that is.
Oh, it's gone too far.
22.
She's not going to be able to hold for the black, unfortunately. I think the pot's the most important thing here. Tricky one as a cutback.
Well, he's taking it on to the left corner.
We'll soon know if it goes. It might do, but has it got the pace?
He'll want to try and eliminate.
No, it hasn't. So we're going to concede the frame there. It's disappointing though, that.
Neil Robertson.
Really is.
22. Frame
Would have had
conceded.
our only slim chance, I guess, of getting back into it.
That is the frame.
But that's life, you know.
Thank you. The
I
fifth
keep
frame.
saying that we're going to get better, but it just doesn't seem to be happening. But we are still in this match at 2 frames apiece. I suppose it's too enjoyable, isn't it, when we win 4-0 all the time.
Looking to run this along the cushion.
But again, another aggressive break-off from Kyron. Left us a chance.
Impressive opening red.
1.
And I'm not going to say the same things again, because clearly it's not seemed to working for us. Again, but bear in mind, this is a live commentary, so it's not being recorded afterwards. I'm talking about myself here while I play.
Nice position on the black.
Bit like in football, isn't it?
9.
Good as time as any to score a goal. It's a bit of a silly silly phrase, if you ask me. Silly saying. To be honest, for once, we've got position pretty much bang on where I wanted it to be, which is amazing.
This needs to be played at the right pace.
It might, but no, let's not jinx it. I was going to say this might be a
Position looks good for a colour.
change for us. It might be a
17.
corner turned. Trouble is, there's nothing easy on, is there? At the moment, we'd have to open up the table to do so. We are just working very much on dribs and drabs, but we were okay with that when we were playing really well.
This isn't easy.
Well, that's just outstanding. Superb.
But with every red we pot, obviously
Well, you couldn't have
opens
done
those
any
gaps
better.
up and opens up the
Superb
table
position.
slightly.
25.
Just take a second to look at the table. That's something we haven't been doing enough. Oh.
Really well played.
30.
A bit too close for black, to be honest. Bridging off the cushion, so turn that one down. I'll go for this one instead. It's just all about what we feel most comfortable with to keep the break going.
31.
Problem with the pink is it doesn't really open anything up. Gonna have to be the blue. I don't think we've got much choice about the matter. But what we are doing here is we're taking a lot more consideration about our pot in our position. Sure, it's not as fluent as usual, but the way we've been playing, you wouldn't expect it to be.
Great technique.
It is just going back to basics at this point.
36.
Shall we keep the break going?
Decent position on the pink here.
37.
This should be pretty straightforward.
This is a decent break so far. Dare I say it to jinx us, but it has. It's been a good break.
3.
As this.
That's a really good split, and this is a real opportunity.
44.
We've just got to keep our focus now. I hope you don't mind me not talking as much as usual. Because this would be quite momentous compared to the way we've been playing. It's baby steps. You have to go back to basics.
51.
If we can win this frame in one visit, I think that'd be a real achievement compared to what we've been doing recently and how we've been playing.
$52.
I know I said it was a good chance at the start, but doesn't matter, does it? You know, we've still got to take it.
$59.
Okay, nearly went wrong there.
$60.
And position is starting to get a bit trickier now. This is going to be a bold one on the blue.
Long pot, right up his street.
This looks good though. You don't lose your play overnight.
That is.
I think it's just the
65.
break building routine that we're struggling with. But if we can win the frame in one visit, maybe even get a century, who knows? We start to alleviate some of those issues and put the pressure off us. It'll be tricky to get a century, that being said, where the balls are.
Important pot here.
But the pink's there.
Excellent shot.
That should be enough for us to win the frame in one visit.
In this frame.
Certainly a damn sight better than we've been playing. Not as fluent, but doesn't matter how quickly you do it. It's not the shootout.
73.
And this is a big improvement on how we've played throughout this match. And most importantly, it gives us a good advantage. We're one up with 2 bites at the cherry.
79.
Challenging pot along the cushion here. In it goes.
Tried to bring those reds into play and it worked, to be honest. I think what I was most frustrated at, I wanted to do both. Wanted to bring the reds into play and open up
To
the
middle pocket.
cue ball for the black. But the pink will do.
That's a top shot. Well played.
86.
Well, as soon as the BBC are ridiculed by a certain snooker player by talking about history, I'm going to talk about it a bit here. And you know, there was Prime Minister in the 70s in this country, Great Britain, James Callaghan, who had a real crisis on his hands. The winter discontent in the late 70s.
Fabulous effort. That's a great pot.
And whilst it was all going on, he was sunning himself in sunnier climes. And when he got home, or at least when he was asked by the journalists, he said, well, crisis? What crisis? And it feels a little bit like this here. Certainly papering over the cracks. It's been a good break. This has been a good break, and we just need the red. It's a tough one, but we positioned ourselves fairly well for it. This could be a real momentum-building century. And it's there. What a great century that is.
100.
Not our flashiest, but I think we'll remember that for a while. You know, it could be a good return to form. Might just be a flash in the pan. But it just proves, I think to myself more than anybody, that we've still got it. We can do it. Albeit that position wasn't great, but you know what? I'm not bothered. I think a break 105 is very respectable, given the way I've been playing. But we'll try and pot the tight yellow to keep things going here. I'll take that. I'll take that. That's not a bad positional at all. I mean, a clearance is on here potentially.
107.
Now, can he drop this into the right corner?
Yeah, it's been a bit slower than usual. It's not quite been our normal finesse. But who cares?
110.
Gives us some real confidence now. Remember, Kyron Wilson's had one shot in this frame, and that was the break-off.
114.
Open things up quite considerably.
Well, I'm not surprised he's taking.
And that's where this chance came from. And that really is back to our best. Getting one chance and taking it, not giving our opponent a single chance.
119.
And from playing really terribly, there's a potential break of 1-3-2 on here, which would be our highest break of the tournament. Haven't made a century in any of the 3 rounds beforehand. I think we made a break of 80. But a great clearance there of 132. That is much more like it. And crucially, staying on the high value colours most of the time as well.
That's the frame in the bag.
So, again, crisis. What crisis? Just got to finish the match off now. It was a really nice individual frame. But all the frames, whether it's, you know, 60 breaks of 1, which doesn't quite work, but just being exaggerating, you know, it's not mathematically possible, but from one extreme to the other, I suppose, whether it's a 1-3-2 break or a few breaks of 10 or 20 just chipping away, all the frames count for the same. But that one could count for a lot more in terms of our confidence going forward. I think we needed that. But the ball's reset now. Oh, that's a nice shot.
That's what he was after.
Got him snookered again. Poor old Kyron. And this, again, is a chance in frame number 6. Let's see if we can split these up. Try and make ourselves a good chance. Oh, third time lucky. Oh, for goodness sake.
Good split. Really
it's a good split, but they say this a lot to the commentators and there's no pot on.
8.
Good split just tends to mean the balls have moved a lot. And to be honest, we're not really looking for that. We're looking for a potting chance, which we have got. To only have one chance from there is a little bit disappointing.
9.
Not a golden opportunity, but again, a scoring opportunity.
He's an expert long potter and he's taking this on.
That's one of his trademark long pots. Brilliant.
Yeah, one thing that hasn't suffered, probably the only thing during this little run, has been our long potting. Still pretty good at that, over distance.
15.
Just our overall game has started to stutter a little bit. It's funny, isn't it, this game? You can go for an original shot, then you see something out the corner of your eye. I think, that's a much better chance. And if you don't take that chance, you're living with the rest of the frame sometimes, stewing over it. I think this might be a better chance to open things up a bit more. But there's always the risk of not guaranteeing position.
28.
Look what we can do here. I don't think there's a lot we can do. So, tricky red, to say the least, to stay at the table here into the centre pocket.
He's taking this red on.
Come on, red. Come on, red. Keep going. Oh, what a fantastic pot that is.
Unbelievable. Just look at that for a positional shot. Superb.
Well, that was the sort of chance I was alluding to earlier, that'd be an easy chance for our opponent. But nevertheless, I just thought with, what's going on, we might as well just take it. Play the Mark Williams approach. And because we also knew we'd got this red up bulk, so want to get rid of that. And then from here, I'm not too bothered. Do we just play up behind a bulk colour? I think that might be a good solution.
He's going for the snooker behind the green, I think.
Not quite got the snooker, I don't think. No, we have. Played it a bit too hard, but it's okay. But once again, once your opponent gets back in, there's no guarantee of position as such. Just playing this cue ball back up to the bulk. And we won't leave anything on. Not a particularly inviting table to take a long pot on, truly.
He's looking to get the cue ball safe and tights the cushion here.
And that still applies, that same sentiment does. Those 5 reds in a cluster together will be tough to break up. But crucially, we've got the all-important lead at the moment, a nice lead of 37 points. Can work our way around that pack of reds, can't we?
Fascinating safety battle.
Yeah, just about. This is an interesting safety battle, this is. Just clumps of reds, nothing inviting at all. Don't need a big mistake to open things up. Ooh, that might be a bit more inviting. He's hit the blue. Ooh. Not quite left the red on. I thought that might have been a tempter. Not quite. This is cagey, this. Really cagey. All of the balls apart from the brown and black off their spots. Which again doesn't really make things too inviting. But Kyron obviously wants to open things up a little bit, and that is going to be his error. He's not left a fantastic chance, but it's a chance that's more open than it was, most certainly.
This is really tricky.
And there's a good long pot there.
Excellent positional play there.
Opened up the red slightly. It's going to be a tough colour here. Into the middle pocket. But make this. Gives us a good chance to finish the match off.
Drop into the centre pocket.
Good shot. Good shot, that.
Nicely done.
He's cueing extremely well here.
So this now is a good chance to finish Kyron Wilson off. Not a perfect chance, but a good one. We've got a lead. It'll be tricky to get onto the next red. As I said, we don't mind our long potting, so Where we are, I think we can take a risk or two. A calculated one at least. Under hit that one slightly. Will the blue impact what we're trying to do? Fortunately not.
Well, he's looking at potting this into the right corner pocket.
And little by little, we're getting closer to the winning line. But this isn't easy. It's really not. The way the balls are.
14.
But in these last 2 frames, I think we've given ourselves some confidence. We've played a lot better than previously. And if we are to get through here with this break, it'll give us a lot of confidence going into the next round and hopefully a bit of momentum to work with.
Pace is very important.
This tournament's treated us well in the past, and hopefully it'll continue to do here.
20.
So, 5 reds left at the table. Colour and the next red needed to get through to the next round. Is that too soft? Is that too soft? Oh, it's too soft. That is the first big mistake we've made for a little while.
Neil Robertson, 20.
Just trying to hold the cue ball for the next red. And this now a chance. A chance that Kyron Wilson, I'm sure, didn't think he'd get. And what a turning point this could be if he steals this frame off us. We only needed 2 more balls to finish off the match. Oh, it's got a horrible way of snooker turning round, it really has.
7. 8. 13.
So very nearly there. Can Kyron do what we couldn't do in a previous frame and come back from a long way back? Albeit, you know, we needed snookers, but, you know,
14.
could have still potted the reds. But where's the cue ball going? It's
29.
okay.
No issues there.
22.
And if there's ever a time for Kyron to come alive, it's when the tournament's on the line. So 35 at the table. He's 29 behind, so it's tight. He'll need everything, I think.
29.
But he's missed the pink.
Kyron Wilson.
And that should be Kyron Wilson's last shot, because with that, he couldn't pop the pink off the last red. Only 27 remaining. That should be it for the Gibraltar Open for Kyron Wilson. We should be through. A bit of a stutter at the end, not playing that pink hard enough to pot it. But that should be enough to put us through to the quarter-final in Wednesday's episode. So not vintage snooker from us, but nevertheless we've got through. The scoreline doesn't lie.
5.
Certainly grew into this match, and hopefully in Wednesday's episode we can take some of that momentum with us.
One, but a half chance.
9.
And who knows what the possibilities can be.
The long pot's on.
Very good clearance in this match, a 1-3-2. Could just turn out to be the tournament's high break. I doubt it, but you never know.
14.
But most certainly now, just the black left on the table. That does confirm that we've beaten Kyron Wilson by 4 frames to 2. And we are through to the quarter-final.
27. Frame and match, Neil Robertson.
And he's into the quarterfinals. Well deserved.
So good stuff from us there in the end. As you can see, that highest break of 1-3-2. Kyron's safety play, I think if you have to critique Kyron's safety play really let him down. Give us too many chances off the break-offs as well. There must have been at least 2 of those off the breaks that left us really tough, that left us really easy on reds, I would say. And it's fair to say, you know, not the easiest quarter-final. We played Judd Trump for a place in the semi-final, and you'll be able to see that, of course, on Wednesday's episode. If you guys enjoyed that, make sure to leave a thumbs up down below, comment your thoughts as well, and subscribe for regular Snooker 19 content. Thank you very much for your company today, folks, and I will see you guys on Wednesday for the next episode. Goodbye for now.